Friends. Look at all these friends. How we doing? Wow, what a rebrand. Oh my god, immense stuff going on here. Yeah, as you can see, it's not just me and Ben gracing your screen today. Some of you might be happy, some of you might be sad. But I'm happy because boy, we got a panel. We got a panel. We got boys representing the Big Six. If you're West Ham, I don't know, Leicester, I don't know, Newcastle fan, you ain't top six, so you ain't here. As you can see, just like the Etihad, a Man City fan has not attended on time. Hamza's going to be late, but you guys know Hamza. He's been on the show plenty of times. And, you know, we're still on the lookout for a Spurs fan. It looks like City and Spurs, probably the two smallest clubs in the Big Six, are struggling. So, yeah, if you know anyone, shout us and we'll get them on. Right, so I'm going to be neutral. I know you guys know me as a Liverpool fan, but we've got Ben in the corner today, man. I'm sorry.
No, man. That's cool, bro.
We got Ben as the Liverpool rep. How you doing, bro?
I'm all right, mate. I'm all right. You know, I went to the game on Monday night, and the less said about that, the better. I know we'll probably touch on it at some point, but no, I'm good, mate. I'm good. There's plenty of stuff to talk about with Liverpool at the minute, which again I'm sure we'll get on to. But yeah, I'm all right, mate. How are you? You good?
Yeah.
Seems like forever since we've been on the show.
Yeah, did we do one last week?
No,
mate, I'm so awful with time. So yeah, yeah. Although this ain't my fault. I'm not right. Grizz, get off my case. This is not my fault. Look at this. Look at this man. Look at this angry man in the comments. To my right, I don't know how you guys are seeing this. We have a familiar face, the main man Bilal, the Arsenal man. How we doing, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Yeah, this show is going to be good. Like, we'll talk about the Big Six. We'll talk about our teams, our results, how we feel. So yeah, let's see how it goes. I think it's going to be good.
Class. And then next to him, we got our Chelsea rep, Addy. How we doing, bro?
All good, man. All good, bro. Pleasure to be on the show. Just here to back my boys Chelsea, bring some smoke, and yeah, man, we'll see how it goes.
Down below, we've got a bit of international representation. The man Michael, all the way across the pond. How we doing, fella?
Good, man. Pleasure to be on and ready to represent United, even though we're in the mud. But I'll try my best to be optimistic about them.
It's tough times to be a United fan. You know, there's actually nothing. I was thinking this. I know one of my best mates is a United fan. All he does is talk about other clubs now because he actually can't talk about his own club because you know he's just gonna hold smoke. So it is what it is. The way the show's gonna go, I'm sure you've seen us. It's just a Big Six sort of panel vibe chat, bringing the heat. Whoever's done well on the weekend, come with their chest. Whoever's not done well, I still want to see some attitude. So that's how the vibe's gonna go. So we're normally gonna review results, and then sort of look forward to how it's gonna go in the weekend. This is gonna be the new slot. I know we're normally Thursdays at 10 p.m, but you know there's a certain Big Six show that takes up that slot. So we are now your 7 p.m. family. So where I want to start, actually, I think the big news this weekend is the battle of the zero winners. Is that a thing? I don't know.
6-pointer, people are saying.
It's a relegation. That's why Ben and Mike are on the bottom of the screen today. It's tough times. It is tough times for the two biggest clubs in English football. Ben, wow. I was not expecting this as a Liverpool fan. The start, 2 draws. You thought after the City Community Shield win, we'd get off to a flyer. But it's not happened. Injuries everywhere. I just want to ask you, what is the mindset of a Liverpool fan right now heading into this clash? Because when we saw United lose to Brentford, before we played Palace, we were licking our lips, weren't we, mate?
Yeah, you're right, mate. And to be fair, this is the game I want. You know, right now, not just because United, like you said before, in the mud. if they can't get up for this game, then they're not going to get up for any game. So for me, I think this is a great time to play United. Just because, well, I can't even troll them too much, to be honest, like as much as I'd have liked to, because we've been pants as well. So, like I said, it's the game I want in terms of us hopefully kickstarting our season, go do them at Old Trafford once again, and kickstart and go on a good run of form. But equally, if the unthinkable happens and they do us, I don't know where we go from there. I honestly don't. So I'm confident, but also I am bricking it at the same time. I'm not gonna sit here this time and say we're gonna batter United, because I've not seen anything from those first two league games from us to make me think that. So I don't know how to feel, mate, to be honest. Like you said, after the Community Shield, I was like, oh, we're gonna win the league, we're gonna do this, gonna do that, and now I don't feel any of those things, but we'll see.
How big is this game, Ben? Is this, if
Huge.
we win, yeah, we're serious, we're going to be challenging for the title? Or is it as big as, if we lose, that's title gone? Because there's a great, we're part of it. We're part of that LFC fan base. There's a great feeling that, look, we can't really afford to drop many points with City.
So what's it now? 4 points. So if we lose and City win, they'll be on 9 and we'll be on 2. So that'll be 7 points, right? Yeah. And then if we draw and they in City win, they'll be on 9, we'll be on 3. And it's 6. But I agree. I feel like we have to win. And this is crazy talk, 3 games in, by the way. But that's just how it is these days. We know that we've been involved in 2 crazy title races before. We know that the margin for error is ridiculously small. And that's why I was very, very, very angry, disappointed, and let down by what Darwin did on Monday night, because I feel like he just cost the whole game, and I made that very clear. You know, hopefully he'll learn from it, and you know, we forgive him. You know, he came out and apologized and that, but those kind of things now can kill the team, and we had to win that game on Monday in terms of getting off to a good start at home at least. And I said I think with 11 men we would have done the job, but. Listen, mate, we can't afford to drop any more points 3 games in. We can't, because they're not going to drop points to Newcastle. I don't think it'll be a tough game for them, but you know, I just think City will get the job done. But yeah, like I said, mate, hopefully this is the game that just wakes them up a bit, makes them realize, you know what, we're not as bad as we've been the first 2 games, and this is where the season starts properly.
Michael, I'm going to come to you on this. I mean, I first want to talk about the Glazers, because this is the talking point, isn't it? This is the talking point in football. Glazers in, Glazers out, whatever. How much? Because from looking out to in, I'm sure Bilal, Addy, Ben can back me up. The Glazers have put a lot of money into a lot of players over the last 10 years. So how much is it their fault? Why is all the blame going to the Glazers? Is it justified? Is it unjust? I want to hear, because I know there are problems with the Glazers, right? I'm not silly. I know the way they take out loans, the way they sort of run the club. It's not what a fan wants. But is the sole blame simply on them?
For me, like, obviously, in terms of the money, like you say, they put the money in. They haven't actually put any money in since, like, 2006. All our money that we spend on transfers is our own money that we generate from revenue. Obviously, we're one of the biggest clubs in the world in terms of revenue, because we're Manchester United. We have one of the biggest fan bases in all of football. So that's where the money comes in. And I think my biggest problem with them hasn't always been, like, the money that they put, the money that we spent. It's, like, the structure that they've hired. When Sir Alex Ferguson left, he covered the cracks that were there when they took over. And then they put Ed Woodward in charge. He's a banker. He has no idea how to run a football club. And from there, you saw us panic buy. We bought all those superstars because we prioritize commercial value over actual football value, like hiring a proper football structure. We just hired our first director of football a couple of years ago. And we hired a guy from within, someone that doesn't really have experience. As you see, John Murtaugh right now. This guy's on a European tour, going on vacation to Ibiza, Madrid, Turin, anywhere, sunbathing at the beach because he ain't doing anything regarding transfers. And Darren Fletcher's involved with him. He's not really someone I trust in terms of making transfers. So with me, it's like they don't care in terms of structure, and they never put a proper structure to help us. And now you're seeing, obviously we've struggled the last 10 years, but now you're seeing all the like the last 10 years come crashing down at once because we have a smaller squad. Players are on high wages. David De Gea is on 400K a week. No goalkeeper should ever be on 400K a week. I'm sorry, especially someone that's on a decline in a way. Who else? Jadon Sancho got 350K a week without even playing a game in the Premier League. I like the player, but he never deserved that. So they threw the wages is the biggest problem with me. And then I feel like they just never cared. And I know them obviously since I'm in America. Like I know their football team that they run. They didn't care about that until they signed Tom Brady. I don't know if you guys know Tom Brady for NFL. Yeah. That was like their big marquee signing, and that's when they started caring about that. So they didn't even care about their own franchise. And for me, United, for them, like you talked about the dividends, that's all they care about. And hopefully they do sell. Hopefully, like all the rumors the last couple of weeks, Jim Ratcliffe. I heard he's Britain's like richest person. So hopefully, and I know he's a United fan, so hopefully he comes in and buys it. Because from then on, if we get bought, I'm just hoping that that's like the change, and that we are a sleeping giant. I think we're arguably the biggest sleeping giant in all of sports. So once someone awakens that sleeping giant, we could somewhat fight to get back on top.
Yeah, 100%. Listen, Man United are a massive club. Even as an Arsenal fan, I could admit that. What Ferguson did, even before that, obviously. Actually, it's actually quite interesting, Man United's history. I think it's only 3 managers have actually only won the title for Man United. It's Ferguson, Sir Matt Busby. Who's the other one?
I don't know.
Yeah, so it's like, so Man United's history is quite interesting. They're used to having that one figurehead at the top who brings them that success. And obviously, since Ferguson's gone now, Man United have suffered greatly over the last decade. And the Glazers, for what people do say, Michael make a great point. We say, but you spend a lot of money. You signed Pogba, Di Maria, all of these players. Where's the Lukaku? How many players have you signed? Each time the wages are going up and up and up. Sancho the last season, Ronaldo, Varane. But the truth is, the Glazers themselves are not actually putting in any of their money. What they're doing is they're using the club, they're leveraging debt, they're taking out loans. They're putting the club into disrepute pretty much. Old Trafford, you look at the stadium, it is, from what I can see, crumbling.
Old toilet. It's old toilet. There's a reason why we call it old toilet.
The old toilet, exactly. Carrington, the training ground, what used to be one of the best in the country, is probably the worst even. Like, I'm hearing things about the women's team. They're not even getting, proper facilities and stuff like that. So from top to bottom, Man United have been run terribly. I know the Man City fans not here, Hamza. I've seen Man City, what they're doing with their stadium and the things that they've been doing. And it's stark, it's a different world what they're doing that's in that side of Manchester. So we'll see what happens with the takeover. But I feel like it's now or never for United fans to get the Glazers out. If you want to do it, now's the time. For example, I'm an Arsenal fan. We've had Kroenke out here and there all the time, but it's dead now. There's no chance now. We had Daniel Ek. He was running around with his Spotify deal and saying he wants to buy Arsenal, bring in Henry, Bergkamp. I think Vieira even got involved. Like, that's gone now. The Kroenkes, from what I can see, are not going anywhere. They're going to stay here for better or for worse. But now I feel like Man United and the Glazers, in comparison to even to FSG at Liverpool, even to Kroenke, they're rich, obviously.
They're not that rich, though.
They're not that rich. Yeah, exactly. Kroenke and even in FSG, these guys have money, man. Like, it's for them, even if the fans put that much pressure on them, it's not that big of a deal. And to be fair, they seem to both, especially Liverpool, they've gone and you've seen what they've done in the last few years anyway. But for the Glazers, they've shown time and time again that it's not going to work under their tenure. And in fact, Man United will probably end up slipping further and further down. But just one last point before I just open this up to everyone else. Do you not find it funny that the pressure now is coming on to Manchester United and all of a sudden we're seeing Casemiro links, João Felix links? Like, where's the money coming from? The other day it seemed like Man United had no money. Exactly. Yes, it's a John Laporta, method that's going on at Man United. But yeah, that's just my 2 pence on them.
Man United are very the one thing they are successful at is their sort of commercial plan. And that's where all the revenue comes from, right? So I do think they still make enough. I know people say United haven't got that pull anymore, but they are still, I'd say, in that bracket of top 3, top 4 biggest clubs.
I'll just interrupt on that point. I saw in the last 5 years, Man United's revenue has gone down £87 million. So just putting that out there. So even now, the on-field performances are affecting off the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know, Addy, if you've got a sort of two cents to say on that.
No, everything pretty much has been covered. You guys spoke about the Glazers as well. The only thing I would say is that the players need to be held accountable more. I mean, it's just too much blame's going on to the Glazers right now. And the players who have been there a while just keep dropping the same performances season upon season. And I don't know, it looks like that friendly environment that Oli created around the club wasn't as bad as it seemed. Of course, he wasn't the best tactically, but the fact that he had all the players happy and there was a connection between the manager and the players at the time, that's the best football they've played in probably since Sir Alex Ferguson left, arguably Mourinho as well, but it's between those two. So as bad as he was a manager, he did get them going kind of. So everyone took him a bit for granted, and then the players are getting let off the hook again because all the blame's going on the Glazers. I mean, some of these players are just awful. Like if you look at Man United starting 11, like these players are trash, bro. Like I can't see any good players. Like nearly all of them need replacement. I'm seeing Sancho and Rashford on the flanks and thinking, what is that? McFred in the middle. I'm not going to hate on Maguire. I actually think Maguire is quite a good player, and I think that he's really overhated on. But then still, you've got Wan-Bissaka and Luke Shaw. They're horrible fullbacks. You've got De Gea and Goal, horrible keeper apart from shot stopping. I mean, they've got loads of work to do. It's difficult. It's easy to just go and blame someone and then target them and continue to target them and bring out your orange flags. But it's what it is. Players got to start holding their weight on the pitch, man. They've got this new manager. I'm hearing Eric Ten Hag ball. I'm hearing there's a revolution. He's the guy. He's Pep Guardiola's apparently he's going to be Pep's successor at Man City, but then he was start cooking, man. He's got to start doing something. The players have got to start doing something, man. I'm not hearing all this Glazers talk, man. But yeah, Casemiro is a good sign, and the wages are a bit mad. 400,000 a week for a 30-year-old is a bit crazy, but it will do the job in it. They're desperate and they need a DM, and they've needed one for years. So yeah, it'll do the job. But other than that, yeah, the players just got to take more accountability now and start showing what they can do.
You know, it's crazy as well for the second year in a running, and I don't know if it's a coincidence or what, or if there's some planning going into this. What fixture are they doing this again for, by the way? Do you remember the COVID season when they slashed tires and they were on the road and they stopped the bus from going? And now, well, mate, that actually helped us out that season.
It'd be 3 seasons because last year they walked out at half time.
Yeah, so yeah, you're right. So 3 seasons, and just the one in COVID, they actually did us a favor because we were rubbish. We didn't have a squad, and then when the game got rescheduled, we had a lot of players back and we beat them. So this one coming up, if I've seen so many people say this as well, like if they get this one cancelled, like with the World Cup coming up and pretty much from next week, there's double game weeks every single week. I don't know where they'll reschedule it. So if they get this game cancelled, then those 3 points would be nice for us if that was a possibility. So because there's literally nowhere else they can play it. Like, you know what I mean? And why should we get punished for something that, you know, like Adil said, they're coming out with these Norwich scarves and that. Well, they didn't do that when they were winning. They didn't do that when they signed Ronaldo. When they signed Ronaldo and he was unveiled to the club, why weren't the fans saying, oh, this is wrong, this ain't the right signing? No, we were told the GOAT's coming home and the GOAT's going to win the league and the GOAT's doing this. And all of a sudden it's gone pear-shaped and now it's Norwich scarves out, the Glazers this. Did the Glazers palm the ball into the back of their own net at the weekend, or was that David De Gea, by the way?
That was David De Gea. I'm not absolving him of any blame, by the way.
I'm generalizing. Yeah.
That guy.
The United fans you come across on Twitter, they're who I'm referring to, bro.
My perspective is right. So United fans' issue with the Glazers is not a football-related issue, right? Apparently. So why do all the Glazer out shouts? Why does the biggest sort of activity traction for this Glazer out campaign come when United have lost a football game? If it is purely a non-football thing, which I don't know how it can be, there has to be some sort of correlation. But if it is, why does a result need to affect it? Shouldn't, say United, I don't know, win the next 20 games, shouldn't the process be as intense?
Well, because we used to do that, like 2005, 2006. We used to. I was like 6 years old, so I didn't really know, but I've seen like reports and stuff and like photos. Like United were protesting with like their green and gold scarves, even when we were three-peating the Premier League. We were the best team in Europe. 2010, we had just won the Premier League. We had just like been second in the Premier League. We were successful. And that game against AC Milan, I think, was the UCL quarterfinals. That whole stadium was with the scarves. So they did use the protest even when we were successful. But
what is that though? Like, what do you guys think holding scarves in the stadiums is going to do to the owners? Do you think they actually care about you guys?
Oh, they don't care. They don't. They're probably in Florida chilling, sunbathing at the beach.
So,
But it's mostly for sponsors though, because sponsors are like looking at it.
Holding some scarves. You're all paying for tickets to get into. They're all buying food at halftime. Their money's coming in, bro. They couldn't get
as long as there's someone in that seat, they don't care what they're wearing.
I'm saying, you think that holding a scarf up for 90 minutes is going to make some impact, and you think making a protest for one game is going to make an impact? Like, they have this annual protest which they go crazy. Just doing one day worth of work is not going to like, if you're just going to walk out against Liverpool and leave the stadium empty, and then the next game is going to be packed again, what the hell is that going to do? They're not going to change their mind. Watch, these guys sign Casemiro, they might sign a couple of decent players, and everything's going to calm down again. Everyone will be in the stadium next Monday for the Liverpool game. Regardless, there's going to be some random United tourists, even if people aren't buying tickets. There's going to be some tourists that have been waiting to go to Old Trafford their whole life, and they're going to go to the game instead. So there's not going to be any cancelling of the game, I'm sure.
That's the goal. It's like United, like the Liverpool game is just like, I hope it's just the beginning of the protest in terms of walking out. United fans, like we see on Twitter, like they have to continue it, because like you said, if they do it for one game and then I don't know, I think our next home game is against Arsenal actually. If that stadium is packed come September 4th, then it doesn't really matter. Then Monday has no purpose. But if they do continue to do it, then sponsors will take a look at it and say to the Glazers, what's going on? Why are the fans this unhappy? Why are the results this bad? Because United have lost $1.7 billion in value according to Forbes over the last year, and their stock prices in the New York Stock Exchange have gone down to the lowest they've been in almost 10 years. So it is affecting, like Bilal said, also our revenues going down. So it's having a small trickle effect, but now it's up to the fans to continue to put the pressure, because then now will allow a new potential owner to kind of swoop in, because he knows they'll have the fans support.
Chat, let's get those likes up, please. Let's try and hit. Come on, let's try and hit 100 likes on this video. Let's smash that. It honestly is so free.
Run the likes up, man.
It's so easy just to hit that like button. So literally, just stop what you're doing. Don't listen to what I'm gonna say, because it's probably waffle, and hit that like button and come back. And one of the boys are probably saying something a bit more interesting. So do that. I don't want to make this a Glazers out show, because look, to me, it's just, I want to see a change. If United fans really want a change, I want to see that change. And like, I think who said it was a now or never? Someone said it was a now or never.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah.
I don't feel like a deal, or like a someone buying United can be a now or never thing. Like, it will be a very long process. I think there's a lot more hard days ahead as a United fan. I think the Glazers aren't going to give up easy. I've read they want to share they want to sell a minority stake. So there's no intention to sell. Like for example, like Mike Ashley at Newcastle, he wanted to sell. He just wanted to get the most money he could get. And luckily comes the Saudi-backed group. So if it stays like this, United are in. Look, as a Liverpool fan, the way I look at it, maybe me and Ben when we were growing up, not maybe me and Ben, maybe people a few years older, they sort of clinged on to those 70s and 80s and were like, don't worry, those glory days will come back. Look, it took us 30 years to win a league title. United fans, to me, they seem like, in every aspect, seem like a club stuck in the 90s and noughties, early 2000s, and they need to move on. Because the Man City are miles ahead of them in every aspect right now. Right? They're not a bigger club. They don't have that heritage. But right now, they're building something that in, I don't know, 30, 40 years could be seen as rivaling that. So that is a possibility. And United really need to get there. Speaking of City, we have a man coming in.
Here we go.
I'm gonna wait because I don't think he's ready. But
wait till he's ready, yeah.
I wanna move on. I don't want to make this United show.
Can I just say something real quick there, about, how you said, it took 30 years or whatever, and we got like laughed at that for so much. And people still say it now, like one title in 30 years. But United in May, because they ain't winning the league this year, it's going to be 10, right? And when we went 10, nobody expected it to be 30. No, people were like, oh, they'll win it soon because they're that big. They're going to have to win a Premier League soon. But 10 years became 20, 20 became 30. And I'm not saying it's going to be 30 for Man United. I don't think it will. but it can go by like that. And
Yeah.
for United now, like 10 years is a lot. And I'm not being hypocritical because it took us 30, but I don't think it's looking good for them. I think it will definitely be 15, and then I don't think they're winning it in the next 5. That's for sure. So we'll see what happens. And here he is. Hey,
right, man. Hamza, how we doing? Oh, Man City,
Yeah, I'm good, guys. How you doing?
yeah,
Doing good, man. Doing good.
It's the happiest I've seen you, man. Bloody hell. Oh, no.
My God. Tell me
Holy
about it.
shit.
Sorry, guys, man. Sorry, guys. I was
Nah, bro,
sorry.
so good.
Yeah,
So
It's all
good.
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 Right, we're gonna move to. I was gonna move to Addy next anyway. So I want to talk about Chelsea because Chelsea's interesting, man. Chelsea in pre-season looked a mess. I think from the outside looking in, a lot of people didn't have them in their top 4. There was Tuchel going after his attackers in a press conference, and I was like, has he lost the dressing room? But look, the signings you've made, Cucurella, Koulibaly, Sterling, 3 top quality signings. I think there's no doubt about that. And Chelsea are a club that thrive in that sort of chaos, man. I don't care. Under Abramovich, it seems to have carried on. Now they have that in their DNA, where they're a club that when it gets messy, they pull stuff out and they just never go away. They're always going to be in the conversation. So, Adi, I want to say to you, are your expectations now a lot higher for the season than they were maybe 2 weeks ago? And do you think that, because I look at that squad, I see a lot of talent in that Chelsea squad. I think that squad could potentially be a title challenging squad. Do you think, 1, that is realistic, and 2, Tuchel's the right man for that?
Nah, so I was on a show with Grizz just before the season started, and then we were discussing this as well. So we were saying that essentially my viewpoint hasn't changed at all from 2 weeks ago to now. I have the same thing. I don't take preseason seriously. I don't take that as any sort of test for how the upcoming season is going to be. It's just not how it works. So like I was saying to Grizz, I said that a lot of people were sleeping on Chelsea, and that you shouldn't, because like I said in the last few years, whenever there's a top 4 race and no one wants the top 4, it's always Chelsea that end up in there. We just have the know-how. We have the players who have been doing this for years. We've got a top manager, so people got to start respecting us a little bit more. I agree. We made some top signings. I mean, Cucurella, Sterling, and Koulibaly all looked really good against Tottenham. Like, especially Koulibaly and Cucurella, those 2 were top against Tottenham. So yeah, people got to start respecting us. But in terms of my expectations, no, we can't win the league. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Our squad isn't there. We still don't have an out-and-out goal scorer. I still feel like if Havertz is playing a false 9, we need someone off the flanks to get in behind and score goals, just like Liverpool were playing with a false 9, with 2 wingers that can get in behind and make those penetrating runs and be good at finishing. Like right now, we've got Mason Mount, who's not really a creator or a runner. He's just more of a hybrid player, and he's playing out of position right now. Like realistically, he should be playing left centre mid in a 3, but he's not. So you can all see our squad's got a lot of frailties. Right now, we haven't really improved upon our squad from last season. We've just replaced Koulibaly for Rudiger. Okay, Cucurella, you could say that, yeah, left wing back is an addition, but it's also for left centre back. We lost Christensen as well. We lost Malang Sarr. Sterling, we lost Lukaku and Werner. So it's just a lot of replacing. And other bits of our business have all just been these young kids. So Khanage, I've heard really good things about him. I'm not here to say that I've watched loads of Aston Villa under 23s, but yeah, he does look like a promising talent. And then also we got Slonina. So, and Amari Hutchinson as well. So yeah, it's looking good. Like I told Grizz in the show a couple of weeks ago, I just want us to close the gap. I fully expect us to finish in 3rd place. I don't think come the end of the season with Europa League and Champions League coming to it, I don't think Spurs and Arsenal are going to push us that hard. I think it will be similar to last season, where we'll be 3rd for most of the season. But what I was saying is that last year, I think we finished 19 and 18 points of Liverpool and City, and that needs to come down now, because there is a pressure, I'd say, on Tuchel, because he has been backed by Bowley this window. Whatever he wants, he's getting. It's Aubameyang, and that's his player. Apparently, he just wants him as a stopgap, and the next year he wants to target Rafael Leao or someone else, or Nkunku. So I think there is pressure on Tuchel to close that gap. People are telling me, if he gets top 4 in a Carabao Cup or FA Cup, well, that's not really a measure of success, really. We've always been a cup competition team. Of course, we got to the 2 finals last year. We were unlucky, and then we lost on penalties. But we've always had a good team for cup competition. So now it's really important that in the 38 games in the season, our attacking improves. because I think Tuchel's really good at coaching the defensive and midfield third, but when it comes to the attacking third, it kind of gives the players a bit of responsibility to do what they want and come up with their own ideas and solutions, but our players just haven't been doing that. So I think it's time for him to step in and actually start coaching the attack and creating some sort of patterns and triangles and getting that attack really fluid and working. Yeah, the responsibility on him to get us playing better in general and to close that gap. We can't be 20 points off again. It's a joke. Like, what are we doing when we spending money for if we're going to finish 20 points off again? I think minimum we've got to be around the 12 mark, around the 12 to 10 to 8, somewhere around that. I'm not going to come here and tell you guys, yeah, we're going to challenge City and Liverpool. That's the vibe I was on last season, and I got humbled quickly. Of course, injuries play their part, but our squad just isn't good enough. I think we can all see that we're not near City. We're another couple of years away, but yeah, if we keep spending, if we land Fofana, if we land Anthony Gordon, who I'm a big fan of, by the way, I don't care about the 50 mil. Bring me Anthony Gordon. And if we land De Jong as well, I think we are cooking something nice, and we could potentially go on a little Champions League run. But for me, the main importance of this season is, yeah, let's just close that gap. I'm not going to get carried away from that Tottenham game. It's literally the second game of the season. Just like Liverpool fans and United fans shouldn't be too disheartened by their starts. There's so much left to play. It's like you can't make any judgments or real clear predictions from now. So, yeah, just close the gap and let's see how things go. I don't think we're serious in terms of challenging yet.
Do you think you tried to, because I know you asked for a sort of out-and-out striker. I feel like, do you not feel like you're better with that sort of fluid front three with the likes of Sterling, Havertz, Pulisic, Mount? Because you won the Champions League like that, right? You won that Champions League with that fluid front three. You look lethal, right? You didn't have an out-and-out goal scorer, or do you feel like, because I felt like Lukaku hampered you, or do you feel like you can still get a player like that and produce the goals? Because I feel like someone like Raheem Sterling could easily every season get between 15 to 20 Premier League goals. Or do you want someone that's able to hit 25 a season in the league?
No, I don't really think you need anyone to hit 20 Premier League goals. I mean, City have been winning the league for the last couple of seasons, and what's their top goal scorer been getting? Around the 13 to 15 mark, probably. The season before this one, Gundogan was their top goal scorer in the Prem, and he got like 13 goals. So I don't think you really need that out-and-out striker. I just think you need the team as a whole to contribute. And that does help with our wing-backs. Our wing-backs get involved with the goals. Mason Mount got like 11 goals last year. Jorginho chips in with his penalties. But I think it's more important that the whole team just contributes with around 8 to 10 goals rather than just having an out-and-out goal scorer. So yeah, Lukaku hampered us. So did Werner. Pulisic is rubbish. So I'm not going to come here and tell you guys that Pulisic is good. He's not a good player. Not even in the sense that he's not good technically. It's just that he's too fragile for this league. He just can't keep up with it. I don't know where his 1v1 ability is gone, but it's gone somewhere, and he needs to rediscover that form maybe at another club. I don't want us to loan him to United. I want him gone, and I've replaced him with Anthony Gordon, who's really direct. I do still rate Ziyech and Hudson-Odoi more than Pulisic, but Pulisic, for me, I'm done with him. Werner, he was awful. He had his good moments when he was making these runs, these dummy runs, the distract defenders, and then obviously that's how we opened up Man City in the Champions League final. But overall, the guy could barely control a ball. He couldn't beat his man one-on-one. He was rubbish at finishing. So you know what I'm saying? Like, we really need to revamp this attack. So Aubameyang, he's not amazing. He's not bad. He's just like, okay, for me, I just back the manager. If Tuchel wants him and he sees him doing well in his system, then I'll back him. I think Aubameyang can get goals. I'll say that now. I think he will score goals. I just don't think his overall play is going to be what we're looking for. And that could hamper the fluidity of the attack, like you were saying. He would score goals, like getting on the end of those Reece James crosses. If that was Aubameyang instead of Havertz against Spurs, they probably would have put it away. But it's going to hamper the way we play as a team. So it's just like, what do you really want out of this? But yeah, I'm backing the manager. But other than that, yeah, like you were saying, we do need some new attackers. I don't think Sterling's the guy to score 15, 20 goals. I think he'll chip in with like 10 to 15 again. I feel like the chance creation at Man City was just crazy. He was getting so on the end of so many balls. And I know it sounds a little bit like overused, but Chelsea actually don't have creators. If you look at it, we don't. Like our midfield, Kovacic is all right, but Jorginho and Kante aren't really so creative. Reece James are basically our main source of creation, just like Trent is for Liverpool. On the other hand, we don't have those other players in the team like Thiago and such that would create. And Diaz. So we just need more creators, more finishers, and it's going to take a while, man. This is a rebuild. I'm not expecting anything crazy this season, I'll be honest.
I don't know if any of you guys want to sort of chip in and ask Ali some questions, but
I was going to ask Hamza a question, to be honest, because he mentioned Cucurella and City missed out on Cucurella, and I rate Cucurella massively. You know, I went to the 2-2 at Anfield last season with Brighton, and Cucurella was hands down for me the best player on the pitch that day. So ever since then, I was like, oh, you know what? He's a proper player, and I think Chelsea's gain is City's loss, to be honest. So Hamza, what are you saying about that?
I had to take a sip. When Pep's stressed, he always drinks a drink of water. You remember? When Pep's, that's a hard question. I had to drink that water and gallop it. Listen, Brighton fans, man. Those guys made me believe Cucurella's coming. I'm gutted he didn't come. But I'm also happy for a moment. He's a top player. He's a very, very good player. But I think City wanted to send a message there. I didn't think Chelsea needed him. I think Chelsea panicked by that. There's no doubt about it. I think Chelsea missed out on defenders. They had Chew already. They saw a lot of players that they didn't go for were not happening. And they panicked. I think they panicked because Chelsea didn't have an agenda of getting a left back. There was no way that we knew Chelsea were going to get a left back. Chew was the guy. And City were trying to play that game. We made a mistake of, we thought we had him. We thought we had him because he was the easiest one to get. And we left him to the end. We thought the hardest one was the English player, Calvin Phillips. And, Leeds would have asked for, we thought 60 million, but we paid 42.5. We did well for Haaland. And we left it late because I know for a fact Cucurella wanted to join Man City. There's no doubt about it. I'm not disrespecting Chelsea. There's no way that you can tell me that a guy from Catalonia, Barcelona would want to play for Chelsea over Man City. It's because we have links to Barcelona and the style of play that we play. We would have elevated him to a high status. I think he would have started for Spain. But now I think he showed me one thing about Cucurella. I think the guy, I respected him so high and I still respect him. I'm not sore about it, but I'm just saying that I think the guy just wanted to use Chelsea as a stepping stone. Because how can you say 1 week that you really want to join Man City and then the next week you're joining Chelsea? Chelsea don't play that beautiful football that Barcelona play. And I think I think Chelsea fans were happy. And I was just laughing because they bumped them off. Because they asked 50 million from me and they took 62 million from them. And there's no way, I told about Brighton fans, there is no way worth 62 million. He has one Spanish Cup, no Champions League experience, a failure in La Masia and Barcelona. I'm not paying 62 million.
Champions League experience ain't crucial, by the way.
But bro, he doesn't even start for Spain.
Why all of a sudden, do we add the add-ons? I've never heard anyone add the addons before. Exactly. Now they're adding the add-ons, bro. It's 55. I don't know why everyone's saying 63. I've never heard Sky Sports add the add-ons when they're talking about a player. But when it's Cucurella, it keeps saying 63. It's 55, bro. No one knows. So how are you telling me?
Ali,
still expensive
listen,
though, man.
It's still expensive. They asked 50 million for me. I was no way. I told them 24-year-old, one Spanish Cup, 0 Champions League, played from Brighton, from Getafe. You know that's special to be paid 62 million. I'm sorry about it. I've paid 50 million for the likes of Bernardo Silva. And I'm no way. So I'm happy that I went for Sergio Gomez. He's a 10 million pound player. I think, and I mark my words, I'll say, he will be a better player for Spain. He will be a better player overall. He's only 3 years younger than Cucurella. Cucurella is only using these guys as a stepping stone because we know every dream of...
Is he going to go City after or Barca?
Bro, you heard what Sergio Gomez did. I told everyone for a long time, I'm not saying this is not agenda side. When I went to Barcelona on holiday, I remember I had city tops. I wear city tops, I say when I go on holiday. I was stopped with Barcelona fans. And that's the year that we were knocking on Messi. We made Barcelona go. They were scared. Remember that season we had Messi? Messi would have won league. That's the season. I was being stopped. Barca fans were coming to, you're a big club. The respect that we've got, the heritage from Barcelona. It's even, you saw a picture of Sergio Gomez wearing a Man City top. People are shocked. And this is what we see. If you're from Catalonia or Barcelona, you want to play beautiful football. Ajax, Man City, Barcelona. That's the three. How can you say a Catalonian boy who plays beautiful football is going to Chelsea now? Complete. That's what it tells me. He's using Watch Marco Ali. Remember, I tell you, he's using you
I
as a
find
stepping stone.
this picture so funny because he's actually a City fan. I've never seen someone grow up and be a City fan. There's
It's
actually
football
a generation
heritage,
of
man.
people who are City fans now. It's crazy.
I told you. Listen, it's growing up. People love to see beautiful football. This is what I say. It's not about titles, cups, la la la. It's about children want to see that beautiful play. Sergio Gomez grew up in Barcelona, Catalonia. He's wearing a Man City top. He was not wearing
When did Man City start playing this beautiful football? When did Pep come in?
I think when Pep started, about 5 years ago. 5 years ago, when thing was like 16, 15 years old.
So you're putting all of your heritage on beautiful football on 5 years.
But before that, no, not about that. Before that, when you had the likes of David Silva, Yaya Toure, Sergio Aguero, Dzeko, we were playing very beautiful football. We smashed Manchester United 6-1. Ferguson's never been rattled at home. Ask Ferguson.
Catching these strays.
Bro, I'm telling you, beautiful football 6-1. And that's
I hate David Silva for that game, by the way.
That's one of my. I love David Silva. I can't lie. It was one of my favorite players.
That's what I'm saying. Like, and I think, listen, I've always said one thing. I said, Cucurella, if you join my club, we will elevate your name so high, and we will not. I'm sorry. I'm gonna say Sergio Gomez. Mark my words. 2 years time, Sergio Gomez has got that Spanish position. He's got Spanish left back. Cucurella will just be another stepping stone. He'll either be a flop at Chelsea. He's a brilliant player. He'll either be a flop at Chelsea or he will do well, go to Barcelona as a stepping stone. And that's what I believe. There's no way a Catalonian player wants to play for Chelsea Football Club. I don't believe that. No chance.
Listen, I think on the Cucurella point, he, for me, is a good player. He's a very good player, very functional. We saw what he did against Tottenham last game. Tuchel himself, I don't want to put too much stock in this Chelsea performance. Although I was impressed with the way Chelsea played against Tottenham, Tuchel literally has Conte's number. He has his passport. He has his keys. He has everything. Yeah, he owns Conte. When it comes to tactics, Conte can't play with Tuchel. So for me, I'm looking at that game and I'm seeing, okay, fair enough. Chelsea can dominate a team like Tottenham who, they played this very rigid, free at the back. The build-up play from Tottenham, non-existent. They just want to hit it long to Kane and hope maybe he drops deep and Son and Kulusevski, they run on. So I don't want to put too much stock in that game from Chelsea and from that Tottenham game on Chelsea. But what I can say is that the signs are there that maybe I was too critical of Chelsea, because for me, I haven't been too high on Chelsea. I've been talking to Chelsea fans, even the calling show, I believe last week, I was saying, listen, even the transfers, I'm not a big fan of them because of the price tag and all of this sort of stuff. But if Tuchel can get his pieces in, he can build a functional system. And Adi, you're talking about the attack. It's about the attack now. Now you need to find a way to finish chances, because Chelsea's problem is, even the last game, Reece James, he gets the goal. Koulibaly gets the goal. The strikers are not contributing. Got Reece James, he's going right wing back, right centre back. The guys, he's doing everything.
Mount missed the chance. They all missed the chance. All the whole chance.
Yeah, so Chelsea need to improve in that point. And if they can, the Aubameyang thing for me, I'm an Arsenal fan, so we can talk about Aubameyang. For me, yes, he's one of the best, not even finishers, but he's been one of the best strikers Arsenal have had maybe in the last 10 years. He's definitely up there. But with Aubameyang, what he does offer you, let's say a good Aubameyang, he'll offer you great movement, great intelligence in the box. Yeah. But what he doesn't offer you, even at his best, was link up, hold up, all of the things Tuchel probably wants in his centre forward. And even at Barcelona last year, the guy, he'll score a goal, but he can disappear the whole game. You don't know he's there. Even the last game against Rayo Vallecano, he's playing off the left. Lewandowski is the one holding that number 9 position now. So I don't know what Chelsea are going to do in that attack. But yes, the signs are there, and I don't know. We'll see where Chelsea go from there. I don't know what you guys, obviously, if you guys want to add anything to that.
I know we'll finish up on Chelsea, but we'll finish on Addy on that point, essentially.
Yeah, what you were saying about not putting stock in the performance. Yeah, you're right, because everyone knows Chelsea can play against the big boys, man. We played Liverpool 4 times last season. They didn't beat us once. We drew all 4 games. So everyone knows that we can set up well against the big boys and that we can close them out and hit them on the counter, and we can play good football at times. Of course, we completely dominated Tottenham. That was nowhere near part of the bus and just counter-attack football. That was tactical genius by Tuchel. Although we lost the game because of Anthony Taylor, drew the game, felt like a loss.
Yeah.
Anthony Taylor is just, you're right. You can't put too much stock in it. We do well against the big boys. Last week against Everton, we were awful. I always had to scratch my eyes while watching that game. That game was terrible. We didn't create nothing. It's just good that Everton was so much worse than we were, because another team could have taken us there. We were literally there for the taking. But Everton was so bad is that we ended up getting the 3 points. But yeah, with Aubameyang, just like to reiterate what you said, I agree. I think that he can score goals. He's a good finisher. But then again, like I said before, his link-up play, his hold-up play, even his 1v1 ability, just when you're looking to break down a low block, I don't think he's that guy, because it's going to be difficult to get him chances against the low block, and he's not going to be able to create something for himself. And that's why I said to myself, and I said not publicly, but to my boys, I actually wanted Jesus ahead of Sterling, just because of that moment of magic of creating something out of nothing. I feel like he brings that to the table rather than Sterling does. Sterling's still a top player, don't get me wrong, but it would have been ideal to get both of them. But if I had to pick one, I would have rather Jesus, just because he creates something for himself. Sterling needs a lot of service to score goals. So yeah, Chelsea, it's a long process, man. I'm not going to bang on about them too much. Just know that our attack's not there right now. That's really what's letting us down. We need a bit more depth in midfield.
Midfield as well, yeah.
And maybe
Kante injury.
Yeah, if we can get De Jong, it's not going to happen. I honestly think it's definitely not going to happen. I think he's going to stay at Barca, just end up taking that pick. Say we do get him and we get Gordon and Aubameyang, then we might see something coming together, hopefully. But until then, it's going to be same old Chelsea. We're going to drop points to Southampton's away and West Ham at home and not Burnley, they're gone. But you know what I'm trying to say, like the smaller teams.
Yeah, smaller teams,
relegation fodder.
Yeah, Kante will be back for the Liverpool game. I'm sure me and Ben will be there. It'll be I don't know, halfway through an injury, and then 2 days before the game he pops up in training and drops an absolute masterclass.
Yeah, every time.
Have they said anything on that injury? Have they said how long he's out
It's
for?
4 to 6 weeks, isn't it?
That's what it looked like. You know, the kind of injuries normally.
When do we play them?
The scan results haven't come back, so we just got to wait for Tuchel's press conference tomorrow, and I'm sure he'll give us a little update.
Yeah. Normally, it's
play him on the 18th of September, so a month today. So he's obviously going to be back in it.
4 to 6 weeks. Yeah, he's back. That's the game he's back for, guaranteed.
Literally a month's time.
Don't worry about Kante too much, man. He's inconsistent, man. He's not a guy.
Give Gallagher a run, man. Give Gallagher a little run in that team. Let's see what he can do.
Gallagher can't run in this pivot, man. It doesn't work. He needs to play in the free, man. He can't.
A few of your players are square pegs in sort of round holes, in the sense that Mount, Gallagher, just maybe Havertz, maybe leading the line might not be his ideal sort of thing. So but the Chelsea system, the 3-4-3s works well. So it gets the best out your wing backs who are crucial to it and like quality players. So yeah, but I digress. Big up to Puvarasan. Big up Grizzy, even though he's not here. Big up the channel, I guess. 2:55 a.m. in Malaysia. You'll never walk alone. Damn, guys, if you ain't gonna smash a like for me or anyone else, smash a like for this guy. Dedication to the cause. Big him up. Listen to the channel, whatever. La-di-da. Bilal, I wanted to change the angle a bit with you because we haven't talked about Arsenal yet, but we've talked about the problems and the expectations of the other clubs. There's a bit more chaos around these clubs. I mean, we'll get onto City. City seem settled all of a sudden again. Arsenal, the vibes are great. But I want to take a more tactical view with you because I know the vibes are great. Jesus looks incredible. Martinelli scoring. Saliba's in. But there's a few things in that Arsenal team that interest me. So I want to get your thoughts on one, Granit Xhaka's sort of new role, where he seems to be more advanced in that sort of left channel. Seems to be like a high 8 in a way. And look, he got a goal and assist on the weekend. Martin Odegaard, I know he's sort of hidden maybe in the last couple games. I know it's early days, but look, he was a lot of good stuff was running through him last season. And then finally on your centre back pairing, because I know Arsenal fans are still having a few questions about who is going to be Saliba's partner. Is Ben White? Should Ben White have that role ahead of Gabriel? Essentially, so those three questions essentially.
Great finish from Saliba, by the way.
Yeah, it happens. It happens. But Saliba has been immense.
Ben was having a field day on Twitter. I saw Ben.
Yeah, luckily he
Virgil
scored straight
2.0,
after.
they said, in it. So I just had to,
He's still a kid, but you know what? To be fair, his mentality showed after and before and after the mistake as well. That really impressed me. How he pretty much did like a goal line clearance as well after. Yeah, I rate him, and he's shown that he's going to be that main centre back probably for years to come. And for me, if just going to that centre back question, since we're on it already, listen, I think for me, Gabriel, I don't know why people have this agenda against him, and I see it all the time. Like, oh no, Ben White should be his partner. But no, Gabriel is, because he doesn't look refined maybe as a Ben White or Tomiyasu or Saliba. Yes, he doesn't look as good, but what Gabriel offers you, he's got that dog in him, man. He wins his headers. His passing range is decent. Passing out the back, when you give it to him, for me, I don't feel any fear when he has the ball. He's someone who is able now to be really aggressive because Saliba is covering him. So a lot of the time now, when Arsenal are defending that too, you see Gabriel, he's literally, he's a more advanced centre back. He's the one maybe closing the strikers and the attackers, and Saliba's there covering him now. I think that's now adding a different dimension now to Gabriel. That's going to allow him to be more free, because in the past, when he's with Ben White or he's with Rob Holding, you're a bit worried that, okay, I can't just keep on flying now. And even sometimes when he does, Ben White or Rob Holding can get exposed. They haven't got that athleticism that Saliba has. So for me, I think it's going to be Gabriel and Saliba as the main centre-back pair. I don't see that changing. I see Ben White in this right-back role, inverted. I really like him there because essentially you got he's becoming another midfielder in the team. So is Zinchenko on the other side as well. So you got Zinchenko, you got Partey, you got Ben White in the midfield, pretty much running things in there. Sometimes Ben White's coming out. He's kind of playing similar to like a Trent in that way. Of course, more reserved and hasn't got the technical ability over Trent Alexander-Arnold, obviously. So for me, in that sense, I think the defense this year is actually looking good, because I don't know if you guys are watching the All or Nothing documentary, but even, going through those last few games of how things started going up and down, it's like a roller coaster, up, down, up, then down again. The reason for it was because of the likes of Tierney and Tomiyasu, they just kept on getting injured. So I feel like Arsenal now have addressed, Zinchenko coming in, Ben White being able to go to right back now. You've got options there. The Xhaka point is really interesting as well. That 4-3-3 now that Arsenal are playing, with Xhaka playing that advanced role. One thing about Xhaka, I'll give him. He's a smart footballer. He is limited, though. He is limited. Even when you get in the box, of course, he's not a smooth operator, but he is not a dumb footballer in the sense that he does understand what he's doing. He's able to make runs now into the box. He's doing things that he hasn't been able to do before, because he's had maybe more of a different responsibility. He's covering Zinchenko when Zinchenko comes into midfield, and Xhaka goes into left back pretty much sometimes. So he's doing so many different roles at the same time. It is impressive. And also what this new role for him is doing, when he's playing higher up the pitch, if he loses the ball, like he did do early in the Leicester game, if you go see the highlights or whatever, you'll see that Fofana just rushed him, took the ball, and they probably could have scored. And I remember Brendan Rodgers as well saying after one Arsenal game, I'm not sure if Leicester won that game or was a draw at the Emirates, he was saying, listen, our tactic a lot of the time when Xhaka has the ball, he's a pressing trigger. So a lot of teams use Xhaka as a pressing trigger, because if you start pressing Xhaka really, and he's in a bad position, you're probably going to win the ball 9 times out of 10. Now that he's further up the pitch, his limitations are hidden in that sense. So that's a good tactical change that Arteta has been doing since last season, and we've seen better and more consistent performances from Xhaka. And Odegaard as well in that midfield. And that's another good point that you made. Odegaard last season, when Arsenal played well or won a game, it was because of that right-hand side. It was because of Odegaard. It was because of Saka. If they had an off day, Arsenal 9 times out of 10 would drop points. So now these guys are actually not playing that well. Odegaard and Saka, they're not playing bad. They're doing the right things, but they're just not affecting the game that much. But with Jesus now and Martinelli, what they're offering on the other side of the attack, when Jesus sometimes even he's going everywhere. You look at his heat map, he's literally all across the front three, all across the final third, rather. We're seeing a different dimension to Arsenal, different look. So for me, I think Arsenal have advanced tactically this season. And if they can keep all their players fit, well, regardless, Arsenal's aim this year, or they have to finish in the top 4. It's been too long now without finishing in the top 4. FA Cup, yes, it'll be nice to win another FA Cup. It'll be nice to win the Europa League. But for me, those are secondary to finish in the top 4 because that's a real sign of progress. So yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that. Yeah, that's literally what I have to say on Arsenal so far.
Before I open it up, I know you're a very reasonable man, and to me, look, we all go on Twitter, we all see the reactive nature. It's radioactive. I said it yesterday. Twitter is the most radioactive place, right? One result or two results in this case at the start of the season, even pre-season, can change people's agendas just like that, right? Football is not a game like that. Football leagues are played over 38 games. Is how you do over 38 games, right? But that's the whole nature of it. People see one thing and they'll get behind it and they'll back it and they'll switch onto that agenda. What is the murmurings in the sort of Arsenal fan base like for what this squad can do this season? Because like I know your aim is top 4. I think any reasonable fan's aim is top 4. But are there people actually saying, right, we could go and challenge for this title?
To be honest, I haven't seen anyone really say that. I think the people, if anyone's saying that, it's not too early. The squad needs at least 2 to 3 top class players to come in. You need another midfielder to come in who's at the level of Thomas Partey, someone who's able, if Partey's having an off day, to come in. Even someone like a Ruben Neves, I'm not sure why no one's going in for him, maybe because of the price tag. There was talks of Sandro Tonali coming from Italy, but I think that's not going to happen. So, but that kind of level of player who can come in and compete with the likes of Thomas Partey, that needs to come into the team. Early in the window, there was talks of Rafinha, of course, went to Barcelona in the end. Addy would know, was looking like he was going to Chelsea for a while as well. So, another winger to compete with Saka or even take Saka out of the first team, even though Saka's top youngster, top player even. You need that competition. Arsenal squad still missing those 2 or 3 players. I'll say them 2 positions, another midfielder, another winger. And then if they can keep the squad fit now, that's the other thing, then we can start talking. Because right now, an injury to Partey and the team is El Neni. You know, it's not looking great. Okay, Odegaard goes out of the team, Fabio Vieira is going to come, but we don't know what he's going to do. Martinelli's out. We've got Smith Rowe. Okay, cool. It's not looking too bad. And Nketiah for me has improved so much as well. So I'm happy to have him as a backup. I know some people doubt him and stuff. But yeah, Arsenal are still a few players away from being able to just have a challenge on the league. And that's not talking about winning the league because of Man City. They're already on that. They've got the squad. They've got everything. They've got the rhythm, the know-how, etc. So yeah, Arsenal just need those few players and then they can start looking at other things. But if you haven't finished in the top 4 for how many years is it now? 5 years or something like that? Yeah, exactly. It used to be every year for Arsenal, 20 plus years in a row finishing in the top 4. That's normal. Now it's gone. You need to at least get back to just that base level. Then after that, you can start talking about league titles in 2 or 3 years. But yeah, right now, just hold off. I think top 4 has to just be the non-negotiable aim, as Arteta likes using that phrase.
Yeah, I think the real challenge we'll see is when those like games come thick and fast. Like you're going to have to rotate. I think clubs like Chelsea, Liverpool, City are probably best set up to deal with that. And that's when the real results start to turn and whatever. I mean, I've always said I don't like to sort of make a real judgment of the league until halfway, until 19 games are played. But Hamza, are you there? I don't know what's happened to Hamza. We're gonna leave. We're gonna leave Man City hardcore alone. And hopefully he pops up back again.
We'll remove him for now. Yeah.
Yeah. Ben, right. So let's look ahead to this fixture, to the weekend. Right. We're gonna look at. No offense, but I don't think there's a bigger game in English football, guys, than Man United Liverpool. No matter the circumstances, this is the creme de la creme. This is
Arsenal Man United is bigger, man. Come on.
No,
classical.
Yeah, let's be serious, man.
Not a chance.
In the Premier League era, it's a bigger game than Liverpool and Man United.
But
Liverpool Man United is a bigger rivalry, but in terms of bigger game and history and scenes and stuff like that, Arsenal Man United.
Yeah, 15 years ago. Yeah,
15 years ago in the 2000s.
No, of course we're talking history and the whole of rivalries, of course. Because I would, then I'd say Arsenal Tottenham's bigger than Arsenal Man United. But if you're talking about like what you think of straight away in terms of the last, us guys, especially growing up and seeing the images and stuff like that, I would say, I don't know, but it's a different point and it's a petty point, but yeah.
It is.
Liverpool are so much better than United now. It's not even a game anymore. Like,
Yeah, they've never been
Yeah,
good at
but
the same time.
Yeah, exactly.
Even when United were better than us, we used to put our all into it. Those games, like Roy Keane said it, you used to come to Anfield. That game was always the game. Like we beat even though we were crap. Well, yeah, we in the early 2000s, like even late 2000s, early 2010s. We weren't anywhere near as good as them, but we used to get some serious results against them. I think we beat them 3 times in a row, 2 or 3 times in a row at Old Trafford at the start of the millennium. So I'd love
Gonna do that again, by the way.
hopefully. The games United don't seem to have that now. Last season we beat them 5-0 and 4-0. That never happened when Liverpool were bad and United were good. Yeah. Sorry, Michael, you're just catching. It's like United fan.
No, I was laughing during those games. Don't worry about it.
But do you think United? I'm gonna go to Michael quickly. Michael and Ben, take the floor here because you're Liverpool United. Do you think we're gonna see an aggressive United, or are we just gonna see the same pattern? Because there's already rumors that United the players don't like Ten Hag's approach.
I'm also gonna depend on the crowd factor because obviously we have all these protests. I think that's gonna play a huge impact on how United show up in that aspect. United, first of all, if they better show up because this do or die. Because if we lose this game, I'm starting to think about versus Sunderland at the Stadium of Light next year in the championship. That's what it's looking like. Sky better tweeting at us already. That's what it's looking like. So they do need to step up. Ten Hag is gonna make some crucial decisions. I've already heard Harry Maguire is getting dropped on Monday. That Rafael Varane's coming back in.
No.
I've said Ten Hag should go to a back 3, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Change the whole system because I know he wants to install his Corinthian philosophy on the team, but the players have a point where they say they don't have the skill set. It's not Ten Hag's fault; it's their fault because they're not good players. They're not good technically, so it's not his fault or their fault. So they are right in the aspect that he needs to change the system just a little bit, do a little damage control, kind of like with Arsenal and Arteta. Arteta didn't start playing this football till last year. Early on, he played that 3 at the back to do a little damage control and make sure you get results. Because as much as I love Ten Hag and I rate him as a manager, you got to start getting results now, or otherwise I'm gonna start side eyeing you yo, what's going on here? So he does need results and maybe a back 3. I want to see him bench De Gea, but it's not gonna happen, unfortunately. Even though I hate that guy with the biggest passion of life, I despise him. David de Gea, Spain's fortress goalkeeper, I hate that guy. Ronaldo. We'll see if he starts him because obviously we've had these whole rumors since last week with Ronaldo. Today, some guy, Ben Jacobs, came on and said Ronaldo's complaining about running punishment laps in training or something. I don't know what's going on in Carrington right now. It's a whole mess, but
that club is an absolute mess, bro.
Casemiro might be there on Monday. Who knows? That deal might get done before the weekend is over. You never know. I hope
he's there because I don't think he'd be up to speed with it.
Definitely not, but who knows? Because I don't think he even played on Sunday for Real Madrid. He didn't start, so he's not even that match fit. So he probably shouldn't start against Liverpool. That's probably not the best way to start the guy's career, throwing him right into the fire. But also Liverpool, like I said, I think you guys have a lot of injuries. I don't think you even have a striker for Monday. So.
I think Firmino's back, isn't he? Firmino's back.
Yeah, Firmino's back, but
at best, I hope for a draw.
But you say this, we went there 5-0 and. Yeah. Our midfield, we could play the exact same team. It will just be, Diaz in for Jota. The midfield was Milner, Henderson, Keita, right?
Maybe.
And I'm pretty sure, I can't remember, I'll definitely be sure, before that game, the meltdown would have been insane seeing James Milner start away. Mate, we won 5-0, Jordan Henderson in the 6th. So it just shows to go, you just gotta wait for the result. For me, that's my biggest pet peeve. Just people melting down before a game, before balls kicked. But Ben Klopp, as Blue Moon's referring to you as.
First time I've heard that. I wish I could have that laser eye surgery that he's had.
and the dental work.
Yeah, the lashes. Yeah.
You're Jurgen Klopp, right?
Yeah.
What are you doing from now until that game to get the boys into the best sort of mindset and preparation? Because we haven't lost, right? Liverpool Football Club, don't get me wrong, they're still super hard to beat as a football club. They're still super hard to beat. But how are you sort of preparing now for that game? And are you feeling the pressure? Because I think it's silly, but there are people that are starting to turn away from the owners and into Klopp and
The idiots.
giving Klopp some heat.
Idiots, all of them, every single one of them, bunch of idiots. First of all, I don't necessarily think anything changes, to be honest. I think these boys now are seasoned professionals with this team. They know what to do. They know their job. They know what they have to do to go and get the win, especially at Old Trafford. So I don't necessarily think anything changes. As a fan, I am feeling the pressure, yeah, because like we said at the start, we have to win this game now. A draw at Old Trafford normally wouldn't be disastrous because Old Trafford is the big game. But now I think a draw would be disastrous because that's 3 games, 3 draws. And we all know history has shown us the draws of what killers usually in these title races. Last season, there were so many stupid draws that we easily could have won and we didn't. So I guess I wanted to see us learn from our mistakes this year, and we haven't yet. We've drawn 2 games, one of them being at home. But yeah, as a fan, I'm feeling the pressure. But I don't think the boys will be feeling the pressure, to be honest. Like I said, they know how to go over to Old Trafford now and win convincingly as well. I know someone said about Firmino starting, and I think he will start, and I definitely wouldn't ever be against Bobby Firmino starting. He's been quality for us. Don't necessarily think he's been his best version of himself recently. I think he's had a good game in the Community Shield, in my opinion, but I want to see Luis Diaz, and I really want to see Fabio Carvalho. To be honest, I think he could cause so many problems against that United defense. He came on for a brief cameo on Monday night, played on from the left. Diaz went up front, and Salah went down the right. So we don't have that focal presence now in Darwin Núñez, and I was licking my lips, mate. Darwin Núñez against that Martinez, if he played, that would have been.
Lock him up in Champions League, by the way. Just saying.
Say again.
Champions League.
It annoys me because Darwin's next fixtures were against Martinez. Then I think Bournemouth and Southampton at home. Like, bro, you could have got goals.
Yeah, exactly, mate. So look, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what the team's going to be. One player, again, I definitely want to see play as Harvey Elliott. I think there wasn't too many positives from Monday night. There was Diaz and Harvey Elliott, in my opinion, that turned up. And I think Harvey Elliott, after that performance, should be one of the first players on the team sheet, to be honest. Huge game for him if he does start, and I'd be really interested to see how he gets on against United in his first game, because he's a boyhood Liverpool fan as well. So, you know, he's grown up like us watching these massive games, and, you know, when United were great and then when United fell off and then we came up, and he's been a fan of all of that up until he signed, really. He went to that Champions League final in Kiev as a fan when he was still at Fulham. So, look, we've got to win. I think we will win. I don't think it's going to be as convincingly as I initially thought, but I couldn't care less if it's an own goal from Maguire. In fact, I would like that, to be honest. I think that would be quite funny. But, I don't care, mate, how we do it. Ugly, beautifully, just get the 3 points, get the job done, kick on to the next.
Ben, you were saying, I was watching a bit of your stream on your channel, Rambling Reds. Everyone go there and subscribe.
Thank you, mate.
You were talking about how you're at the game, and when they were lining up for kickoff, Harvey Elliott was the only one
staring
facing the wrong way, staring at the clock. And mate, that just resonates with like the likes of me and you who are fans of the club. Like, that's our dream, and we know he's living that dream. Like, we're living that dream through him. So I think like he's one of the most popular players in the Liverpool like fan base right now. Like, I can't see anyone that has a bad word to say about him. I just pray he gets game time now, because for me right now, that right hand side of Elliott, Salah, Trent, that's our best right hand side for now. Like, I know talk of Bellingham, Barella, whatever, but for me, like, I love that. The connection between them three is amazing. But I'll just get you a quick score prediction, mate, because we're into that stage of the show.
I will say, I never predict anything other than a Liverpool win. You know me by now. 2-0. I think Salah's going to score, and I think Luis Diaz again.
Salah and Diaz. We'll take that. Take a 1-0 off Nat Phillips' backside.
Anything, mate. No. That's too far. That's too far. Please don't start that, Phillips. God.
Michael, quick thoughts on the game as a United fan, like score prediction if you can, and yeah, like is the pressure on Ten Hag here if it's an L, like is that his neck on the line?
For me, obviously, like the big result will be the game after Southampton and Leicester are games after Liverpool. Those are the must wins. Honestly, pray for a draw in this game. So I'm gonna predict a draw. Hopefully, I'm expecting to lose, but I'll be optimistic for once and just predict 2-2 draw. Because I was gonna say 1-1, but there's no way we only hold one to Mo Salah. Because Mo Salah is scoring a brace. I'm triple captaining him in fantasy this weekend. That's for sure. Because he's cooking Luke Shaw. That's absolutely. I'm convinced about that. I'm just hoping that. I don't know, like a shady pen or something. I don't know who the referee is. VAR, like, do something, help us here, like a cheeky pen or something. Just do something.
Wait, Howard Webb's back, isn't he, in some capacity?
So I'm saying
not
Howard
sure
Webb, please, man. Like,
so he's in charge of something to do with the referees, at least. So you never know.
Go 2-2 draw.
Fergie and Howard Webb had a little.
Yeah, Fergie powers.
So yeah, look. The thing is with United, Ten Hag's going to play the same way. As a Liverpool fan, you're licking your lips because you're saying, right, De Gea is still going to try and play out the back against our press. If we're on it, if we're at 80% there, I'm excited. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm excited. Addy, I believe it's Leeds away for you.
Yeah, man. Leeds away on a Sunday, Super Sunday, I guess. But yeah, man, should be routine pretty much. I'm not expecting anything else but a win.
They started well though, Leeds.
They have started well. They backed Jesse Marshall, giving him his players, but I honestly just think will be too much then, to be honest. I don't think it'll be. Last season it was Leeds. It was a bit of a stomping ground. And whenever you play Leeds, everyone's like, yeah, we're going to get a few goals when you were playing against Bielsa. But it's changed a bit on the Marshall. You've got to give him his props for that. But at the end of the day, I don't think they're going to be able to contain us really. It should be a routine 3-1 win, I guess. But yeah, I don't think they're going to cause us too many problems. I think we'll be good.
Yeah, fair. I'm probably in the. I think there's this whole thing about TV games and the spotlight being on you, whatever. But I think if you're going to get a TV game, probably the most low key one is the 2 p.m. on a
Sunday. Yeah.
On a Sunday, because it doesn't feel like a 3 p.m. game because it's televised, but in a way it does. Talking about a game that could get sparky just because it's on TV. Bilal, Bournemouth away. If I looked at this game and it was at 3 p.m. on a Saturday, I'd say, yeah, you know what, Arsenal cruising that. But hey, Bournemouth at home on TV, I think for the first time, 5:30, bit of a raucous atmosphere going on there. Does that worry you a bit, or are you smooth Arsenal? Jesus is on fire. Let's get him in. You know, he's done a Keith again. He's on mute. Strike.
Yeah, sorry guys. Yeah. No, like honestly, I was just saying about the mentality thing with Arsenal and like how normally going to these away grounds, especially Bournemouth, is so tight. There's only 10,000 people. You know, we've had some weird games. I remember being like 3-0 down there one time and it turned 3-3. Giroud, Lucas Perez.
Oh yeah,
funny. Yeah, that's a real banter era Arsenal there. But yeah, so yeah, Arsenal. I feel like with Jesus and Zinchenko coming into, I feel like the mentality of the team has changed. I'm not going to lie. I feel like they've added some experience, especially Jesus. The way he plays just forces you to be on your game, just forces everyone to just have energy. It's like electricity, you know? So, and I think that game against Crystal Palace, if you can go to Selhurst Park, I think for me, one of the hardest away grounds to go to and win, like, and keep them contained. For me, I think you can go to Bournemouth and get a comfortable win. We saw what was it? Man City beat them. Was it 4-0 in the end? I think Arsenal should be at least winning 2-3-0 in this game, getting the goal difference up, and this should be a simple routine win. Obviously, football, anything can happen, but if that doesn't happen, then alarm bells and people are going to start panicking and stuff like that. But really and truly, should be a simple win. I don't know what I say. I'll go 3-0 Arsenal. I think clean sheet win. Yeah, just keep it moving.
Yeah, I think we're gonna do the FPL show tomorrow. I might have to level the playing field with that Jesus, but I'm trying to stay the differential because I don't know if you know.
You're not allowed to use Jesus, man. After what your slander at the beginning, you should be banned. Go find another player.
I just want it to be a differential. I believe in the FPL gods that when someone's so hyped on FPL, they never do well. But mate, he looks good, so I might have to We'll talk about that tomorrow. But I'm looking at the fixtures just finally, guys. I'm not sure what's happened to Hamza, but hope he's all right. After the Liverpool United game, the standout fixture is probably Newcastle City. 4:30, St James's Park. We know what sort of atmosphere they can put up there. Just from you guys quickly, we'll go Michael, Addy, then Bilal. Thoughts on that game, and if Newcastle can cause an upset, because City look imperious, man.
I'm gonna say City win, but I expect Newcastle to score a goal at St. James, and I hope Bruno Guimaraes plays a really good game. Apparently, Real Madrid are tracking him, so I'm sure he's heard about that. So I'm sure he'll try to play his best. So, yeah.
Addy?
I actually think Newcastle are going to get a result there. I just think the 4:30 on a Sunday, I think the place is going to be rocking. It's their first real test of the season. I think they might pull a draw out of the bag, to be honest. I think they could. Yeah, I think they're going to get a draw. I'll say 2-2. I think it's going to be a good game, man. A nice Super Sunday watch, man. Get your dinner and watch the game, bruv.
Yeah, it's one of them. Bills.
Yeah, man. Listen, I think Newcastle, St. James's, man. Arsenal, because of the Amazon doc yesterday, is back in my head how they just bullied Arsenal. And it's not even because they've got amazing players. It's just sometimes the energy of that stadium is mad. And I think now, because their fans are actually positive, going there in the past, for the past like 10 plus years, you'd go there as a bigger team and you just roll them over because they have no hope anyway. They've got Mike Ashley and all of this in charge. But now with the new ownership, everyone is just buzzing there. The players are buzzing. Bruno Guimaraes, for me, one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. Gutted that my team, for some reason, rejected him twice when he was at Brazil, when he was in Brazil for Atletico Paranaense, and when he was at Lyon. I don't understand. The guy is class, and he's showing it time and time again. Whether he can actually get a big move in the future, I don't know. And it all depends on how this Newcastle project goes. You never know. If Newcastle invests the right money in the next few years, he could be that main guy, be the main face of the show there. So, yeah, for me, though, I still fancy Man City to win the game, despite saying all of that. But it could be tight. I'll go 2-1 Man City. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if it was a draw. But I don't see Man City. I feel like they're sensing blood, man. With Liverpool dropping points, I don't think...
Kind of stat pattern as high as possible.
Yeah, I think normally Man City start slow.
Yeah.
Man City have started really well this time.
They start slow and win the league. We start quick and don't win the league. So let's hope it's the other way around this time. You know what I mean? So let's hope it's that. But guys, we're going to wrap up there. Bit of a put together show. It will look cleaner next week. We're going to be here Thursday, 7 p.m. now. Young Bucks, new rebrand. We're going to have the boys in. Basically a top 6 review and preview show. Banter should be flying, whatever. But yeah, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. And finally, there's a membership link in below, £3.99. I think that's the cost of one tube journey on TFL now. I don't know, it's quite expensive now. So yeah, if you can spare a tube journey, subscribe to the channel. There's loads of perks. Grizz has got so many shows going. We've got like 8-9 shows on the go now, plus all the pre-match, post-match stuff. So yeah, it's crazy. And yeah, shout out to the panel. The boys are gonna be back. Hope you enjoyed it, and peace.